Welcome to Under the Sun podcast. I'm Ilea.
And I'm Irene. Grab a cup of coffee and your comfiest sweats and join us every Monday as two best friends discuss everything from raising free-range gremlins to business and really everything under the sun.
Let's get started, and thanks for being here.
I like that shirt.
I have had this since like the first year at Green Shoe.
Good. Then it's a good shirt.
It's back when Target stuff actually lasted.
Yeah. Then
Now
we
like
got
you
rid
buy
of
something and it disappeared.
Massimo? Is that the brand that used to be there? I loved that brand. I still have like, what are they called? Maxi dresses in that brand, and they never die.
There's something about the new stuff, which I haven't shopped there since May of 23. So, actually even before that, I think. But you wash them and they just slowly go crooked.
Yeah,
I
hate that.
It's because, do you know why?
They want you to buy more clothes.
That, and like it's literally made with slave labor.
And
Like,
they just don't care. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care what?
Like if I was slave labor, I wouldn't care to make a shirt straight.
No, that and like, what's Sheen? Like it's all people are like, oh, Target wouldn't do that, or all these. It's like, they sure as hell would.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. How's it going?
It's good.
Good.
My head is pounding,
Why?
but I'm here. I don't know. It's hot. We're in a heat warning. My air in the van doesn't work.
Is it because we ate our weight in marshmallows last night?
Probably. Also, I have not showered, so I smell like BO and campfire. So maybe a little leftover bug spray.
BO and campfire.
Yes. That's why I'm wearing a hat today, because my hair has so many levels of grease. But also, I'm going to the gym later. So it's like, well, I didn't want to shower just to go to the gym, but I didn't want to look like a hobo for the podcast. So I went with like half hobo hat.
What is the opposite of a trad wife?
Shoes.
Oh, get your toes out of the shot, please.
Yeah, Jacob.
What's the opposite of a trad wife? Like a hobo, like, you know, usually they're like in like linen dresses looking beautiful.
Oh,
What's the
trophy
opposite?
wife?
I think it's like trad, isn't traditional wife.
Oh,
but like,
I don't know.
what is the opposite? Like, what's that? But like the homeless version.
Adam Sandler. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
That is me.
Yeah. Yeah. Except for I cannot wear basketball shorts. I cannot.
I can't either.
I can't.
Nope.
If you know, you know.
I wasn't allowed to wear basketball shorts.
There was like,
but I still just can't wear them.
I don't know. I don't think they look good on any female ever. Like no female pulls them off, no matter what's your body type.
Nope.
I don't come after me. I don't care. Nobody can pull them off. No woman can.
So unflattering.
Yeah, it's the hips. It makes it like they sit. It's just bad.
Yeah,
it's all bad. Anyways, so you're going to the gym.
Yes.
Good for you.
Unless this headache takes over. But I ate one slice of cheese because motherhood, some crackers, and I have this water bottle that I've been shoving on my neck since I got here. So
because you're hot, because it's a heat advisory here today.
Yeah,
where we are, and
my air keeps yo-yoing in the van. So I also had a lot of coffee and no water today, so I think I'm dehydrated on top of it. So right before I pulled in, I was like, okay, there's my head. Hello, heartbeat.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
I'll try to talk softly and no cackling.
It's okay if you cackle.
Yeah, but yeah, we had a bonfire for my husband last night because it was his birthday, and come to find out, you cannot find any marshmallows without any dyes in it.
Yeah.
So I found, it wasn't great ingredients, but it was at least dye free.
Yeah.
And we had a whole bunch over the fire, and it was awesome.
It was delicious.
Yep. The joy outweighed the toxins.
Yes.
So
definitely. Yeah. I just can't even speak today. I just probably should have had a lot more water because now I'm just dehydrated.
Do you want to chug a lug?
I chugged some earlier. I'm going to slow sip now.
Good.
How's it going? How's life?
Good. I'm so tired. Probably multiple reasons. We've had like tradesmen, like workers in and out of our house for like 3 weeks, fixing our like foundation. And
they start early, right?
Sometimes they did. Yeah. And it affected Leo's sleep, like putting her down for a nap. Like I couldn't put her down because the foundation was literally being jackhammered underneath it.
Jeez, yeah.
And so I would like sometimes like put her in the kitchen, like on like a blanket.
Yeah. You could have come to our house.
That's all right. And she like sometimes will sleep through stuff. So it's just, everything's been kind of like off.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm a little pissed off or bummed because I'm sure as everybody's seen, this will probably be posted weeks after, but like things are ramping back up, if you know what I mean. And they're planning certain closures and face diapers that I'm not like, I didn't participate the first time and I'm not going to participate the second time. And there's lots of talk about getting your, what do I say?
Getting the next one.
Getting the next one.
Because the first one was so effective.
First one, second, third, and fourth were so effective.
Number 57.
And definitely prevented you from getting it. Because I know people in our life that have every single one that was available. And they still got it like twice.
Yep.
And I'm like, and they're like, oh, but it would have been worse. I'm like, would it have? Anyways.
Yeah.
So all this stuff. And I'm like.
It's a lot.
It's not fear. I'm like pissed off because there's like, I shouldn't let the internet affect me. But I'm like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking about my family. I'm like, what? I want to grow our food, but like, we're about to head into fall. And I'm like, do I buy a bunch of stuff or are they actually just trying to get more sales? Like, are they,
Because no one's buying anything because everything's so expensive. So
yeah. Like,
make everyone panic buy.
Our basic purchases from Costco, like no indulgence, like, maple syrup for cooking and coffee, which I guess is an indulgence, like gluten-free flour, like sandwich stuff, like basics. I walked out spending $440.
Jeez, yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
Yep.
So, and just cost of everything's. My car light came on, and I'm like,
no,
it's fine.
After you just basically replace the engine.
Yeah, so I need to go to a place and have them like read what's wrong. It's just,
Jake has a reader.
Everything's fine.
Just let him pop his cell phone into it. He can at least tell you what's wrong.
Okay. It's just everything's wonderful, but like we just paid to put in an HVAC system. This is like nobody cares, but like it just drive like a bunch of money on an HVAC.
Yeah,
and like I'm just mad at the inflation because I'm like I shouldn't have to be like, oh, I'm not going to buy the best sourced thing like or not organic thing because for some reason it's like $2 more. I'm just frustrated with Biden economy, honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I had to participate last time because we had just started a business in October.
Yeah.
And then we were closed. 5 months later we were closed. So then when we came back, it's like, okay, we have to build this business that we jumped into with 2 feet right before shutdown. This time I'm not participating.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Mm-hmm. So. And there's people now who have accounts that are all like, hey, this is how you stand up against it. So if you need recommendations, send us a message. We'll send some like freedom fighting accounts that like you can follow. But I'm not interested in participating anymore. And I feel like not a lot of Americans are. Like there's like a song that's going viral right now. Yeah. Of Richmond, west of Richmond. And it has been ringing in my mind. I think I might post a cover.
Do it.
Do you want to should we do it on Under the Sun? Or should we do it on personal?
Do it wherever you want.
And do you want to do it? Do you want to do it with me? You want to sing it with me?
If I have the capacity to learn it, I'll listen to it a few times.
But it's just been ringing. I'm like, that tells you the state of it's not a political podcast, but it tells you the state of our country when people are like, every walk of life is like, yep.
Doesn't matter which side you're on.
Which side, which color.
We're all sick of it.
We're all sick of it. And it's because like there's we can link it in the description, but there's a line that's like, and your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end because of Richmond, north of Richmond. And I'm like, yeah, like that's because as people who have multiple businesses who have paid a crap ton in taxes. Yep. And like sometimes you pay more in taxes than like what you make. Yeah. Like honestly, your take home as the business owner after you pay your employees, after you pay your electricity, your rent, and all the things that go along with owning a business that way too well. And once all that, and then the credit card transaction fees and stuff, and then the taxes, like there's not much left for the owner anymore. Yeah. And the state that we live in, the actual state that we live in isn't friendly to business owners. So
no, it's definitely not.
Yeah, I'm frustrated for friends and family and there's just certain people in our lives that are like, well, we got to be careful because like things are ramping up again. And I'm like, I can't do this again.
No.
So I just have like,
better not happen before we go on this cruise.
Son of a biscuit.
So mad. Maybe
that's why I'm more true.
That's probably because otherwise, like whatever. But also, we're going on a cruise.
Well, and it sounds selfish, right? Okay, because
Yeah.
oh, your stupid cruise. We haven't. Irene and I have not been on a vacation together in 12 years.
Yep.
11 years, 12 years. And yes, first world problems for sure. But like, I've never been on a vacation with my parents ever. And I'm 30.
yeah, I forgot.
I've never been on a vacation. This is the first time, like, we went to Arizona and went to the Grand Canyon for like 2 days.
But you were working.
But I was working and Dave was working.
So the whole trip wasn't.
It was all
start to
very, like, go.
Yeah. We have a lot of fun on our trips, but
We do.
every trip we take, we at least have to work a little bit. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, did we remember all of our swimsuits? It's like camera gear. We don't have room for that. Okay, won't take a swimsuit this time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is just selfishly for us to
There's
enjoy our
no-
families and our friendship.
Yes. And there's no internet unless you pay for it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not paying for internet. I'm going to gladly unplug and just look. I mean, I always like look into my baby's eyes. But, like, I just want to spend time with my family and like see my parents experience things I've never seen them. Because you got to go on a cruise with them once.
Yeah.
But I've never seen them in like vacation mode. And I'm just, maybe there's just a lot of like, I'm just stressed with finances. Just because like,
I get it.
it's an investment to go on a cruise, but then also like you look at flights and it's like, why on earth are they that much money right now?
Why on earth is a 2-year-old an adult price?
That-
yes, they're taking up one seat,
But they could sit on your lap.
she's gonna sit on my lap the whole time. So,
Yeah.
because we had to buy, this is the first time we've traveled where we've had to buy 4 full price plane tickets.
Could you just say that your kid identifies as a baby?
I would love to try that, but not before the cruise. Maybe another trip where I'd be fine just hopping in the car and driving. But
Yeah. There's just like, I'm just ready to go towards a simpler life.
Yes.
Of like, we create content as long as they allow you to post. So like within YouTube, have you uploaded lately?
No.
So like with being monetized, because we're both monetized on our personal channels, not on this channel yet. So watch here so that we can freaking get monetized. So we can get paid.
Also, we are still in a competition with the fellas. So
Yeah.
we need, what is the competition? Is it subscribers or?
50,000 subscribers across platforms.
Okay. So total.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think so, right? I'd have to watch back. But
yeah. So subscribe
so
so we can win.
when you post on, like when I post on my personal channel, in order for it to get monetized, I have to rate my video. Like, do you say anything controversial? Do you say any hate speech? Do you say like,
Oh, geez.
which I get to a certain extent, but like that's not free
But
speech.
also freedom of speech.
Yeah,
If someone wants to say it, it sucks, but
Yeah, and like I always put no to all because like
Yeah.
I'm like, but I also don't really address it on my personal channel like too aggressively.
yeah.
But
It's interesting finding a balance because I own a business in a town where it's twofold. It's like, yeah, Chick-fil-A can close on Sundays and say what they want to say, but Chick-fil-A has a lot of money and
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of money just like,
yeah,
let's fight these wars right now. So it's like, well, do I want to say this? Do I want to say this? It's interesting navigating it when you're trying to build something.
Yeah.
So when I've built it, say whatever I want to say.
Yeah.
As I'm building.
but like, what if you said what you wanted to say and that actually brought more people to you?
That's true.
Because like I am finding a person, like I'm a person that I am freaking voting with my dollar. Like the company we hired to put in our HVAC, conservative.
Yeah.
Like, and he was very, like we had a long conversation before we even hired him about like the freaking lockdowns before this is all like resurfaced again.
Yeah.
And like he was like public on his Facebook page and I was like, that's the guy we're going to hire.
Yeah.
Because I'm voting with my dollar. I'd rather
Yeah.
he get that money.
I feel like we live in the wrong town for me to be
Yeah.
where I want to be
And
too.
your industry's a little finicky.
Yeah.
Like that's
Can go either way.
yeah.
So,
That's hard for you. That's hard.
and also money. Like,
You have
not
kids to
that
feed.
you want to be a sellout, because I'm not gonna say something. I'm not gonna say something I don't believe. I just won't say anything. Period.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna go and lie about something. I will just keep my mouth shut the whole time. But it's like even on my personal channel, it's like, well, it's not my niche to say what I want to say because it's primarily hair care. But also, if that is bringing an income to my family, I'm gonna leave that alone until the FU money is sitting there.
Yeah,
Until
I
we
want
have FU
FU
money.
money. That's all I want, and I want like maybe I should compile a list. If you guys want this, let me know of like American made, freedom loving. Like I don't even care if you like completely believe like me. Like I don't. I really don't. Like you can be fully jabbed up, and we can still be friends. But like I actually have lots of friends who are jabbed up, and I'm like, just don't push, don't push your belief on me and I won't push my belief on you. And that's fine. And we can actually like be friends that way. But then there are some people, it is so contentious because they know that, I'm not.
Yeah. That's such a weird state that we've gotten into because my brother is an EMT and he's very medical minded. And we both know that we're like polar opposite beliefs on the medical system. And we still talk almost every day.
Good. Yeah.
So it's like, at what point did family just say, well, I'm never talking to you again? It's like, okay, people are allowed to not have the same beliefs.
Yeah.
So strange.
Well, I think Jacob went and saw him, but like I haven't seen my grandpa since June of 21.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, June of 21. And it's not because of me. I'm pretty sure a family member blocked my number from his phone or something. Because like I call and then or he's screening my calls, and that's usually not the relationship. But
yeah.
Probably because I've been active on social media about being just pro freedom. Crazy. Not experimental drugs. Whoa, crazy.
Right.
Crazy
just
stuff.
give me the option.
Yeah, just give me the option. It's not, if you want to do it, fine.
Did I ever tell you about the shirt I was, how you have like these things where it's like, oh, if I have a pseudonym, I'm going to make it. But I thought of this shirt back when everything was like, I think we were still on lockdown and they were starting to talk about everything. And I told my husband, I was like, I'm going to make a shirt that says, the you-know-what is like a penis. I'm not saying I don't want it. I'm just saying, ask me first. And so that was when he also...
We have got to make that before this airs.
He also had his pseudo channel. Like, he didn't have a pseudo channel. So basically, he hates Snapchat, but that's how I communicate with most of my siblings. But he would put this one filter on, and he had this, like... I don't know why, but every time this one filter hit his face, this, like, alter ego came out. And so I think we sent you a few of the videos around that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we actually named him. So I'm like, you should please do that as a pseudo person. And then I was like, well, you're a pseudo person. Then I'll make a pseudo person. And my pseudo person will make that shirt because I'm a lady. So I don't make those kinds of shirts. But
I'll make it. I don't care. Like, we could make it under the sun.
Do it. I'll do it.
We should just make it under the sun.
But I thought it was funny.
That's funny. That's super funny. Someone's going to steal it.
But also I don't want it. So
yeah.
But also give me the option. You know.
What are we talking about today?
Maintaining friendships during the early years of motherhood.
You don't. Have a good day, guys.
See ya. Podcast over.
No. I feel like prior, I don't know where you want to go with this, but prior to having Leo, well, I guess even while I was pregnant, like I feel like I had a lot more friends. And then like I kind of started observing, like I feel like when people are in a different season than you are and they're not in like the baby having phase and they're like, their kids are older, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
They're like acquaintances that you kind of like are fresh. Like they kind of write you off in their mind, like, oh, like they're in a different phase. And I just feel like I now have like you and like one other.
Yeah.
And then like Marco Polo friends.
Yeah. It's because I know we both come from different backgrounds of it too, because right now you're home with Leo.
Yeah.
And I work most of the time. So even like we always try to get together Monday nights, but Monday is my only day where I have nothing to do but be mom. So I've decided to just protect Mondays. Yeah. And if my kids aren't coming with me, then I'm not coming because that's the one day I have where nothing else exists but me being mom. But you are with your daughter 24/7. So it's just interesting the different levels of guilt that come from all sides. So I kind of like that. I don't know. I say we just chit chat because we come at it from different angles.
Yeah. And you have to have grace for your friend in whatever season they are. Because I remember before I had kids and you were like in full on mom mode because you were home with Riker for a while, weren't you?
6 months, I think. It was great. I should have done that with both.
Yeah. Do you regret that?
Yes and no, but I also drug her to work until she was like 1.5. So.
And she's like adaptable. Like she's easygoing.
And my kids it's interesting when I conversate with clients who just raise their kids differently, whatever. But, oh, I can't go because that's the nap time. Or, oh, I can't go because of this. And yes, they get a little crabby, but for the most part, we'll get in the car. And the question is, are we going to be in the car a long time or a little time? Because they're just used to being drug everywhere. Yeah. So
I think there's, well, for one thing, sometimes I use the nap as like, I don't want to go.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Because Leo is also very adaptable. And like, if Riker and Nova are there, she will like not even acknowledge that she's tired, and she'll just push through until she like hits a wall and crashes.
Like, are those kids happy? Okay, and then I'm happy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You just do what you got. But like I lost my entire train of thought. She's easygoing, but like sometimes I also use that as an excuse to not go places.
Yeah. I can't even use that as an excuse because naps have always been sporadic for me. It's like sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 1, sometimes there's no nap at all. Yeah. But we have been trying to get together for, I think, a solid 2 weeks. Outside of the podcast. A solid 2 weeks to do nothing but like watch The Office and just craft. And let the kids run wild in the house.
Yep.
But something always comes up.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we're friends enough that we understand. It's not like, ugh, I can't believe she canceled on me again.
Yeah. It's just like, I get it. Mm-hmm. What was this last time? I can't even remember. Why did we cancel for that?
Because we forgot about your husband's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. Well, I thought it was Tuesday. Yeah. The whole time I thought it was Tuesday.
Yep.
It's important to like, Jake just said it upstairs. He's like, oh, you have to prioritize yourself sometimes. But like, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. Just because, like, for instance, like our scenarios are very different. Mm-hmm. Mine's like, Dave works a crap ton. Mm-hmm. Like he works till starts at 8 and goes to like sometimes 7:30, 8, 9 o'clock, depending on the day. Yeah. And sometimes on weekends too. So it's just a lot of me, which is, I'm happy to do it. I'm fine, like being the primary caregiver to our kid 99.9% of the time, except for when I can tell I'm tired and getting burned out and I feel myself wanting to be short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then, like it's not fair to the baby, but you need a break.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Does that help your headache?
Yeah. Well, also parenthood. We're just doing our best always. But today, when I'm in the passenger seat, so not the entire, but most of, because my kids wouldn't sleep at the same time in the car either. Most of the trip to Wyoming, I was turned this way because I was looking over at the kids because it's like, mom, look at me, look. So I'd look. So I spent most of the car ride like this, which tweaked my back. And then for whatever reason, this morning on the way to work, they wanted me to look the whole time. And a couple times I was like, no, because I've been saying like, no, I have to sit forward. My back really hurts. But this morning I was looking and then we hit a pothole and it like,
oh, geez.
It's just like my neck, like I slept wrong. Yeah. So I've been trying to like purposefully go this way, but I have to like do the whole body turn.
Oh no. So have you massaged your armpit?
No.
Remember
my armpit's real hairy and real sweaty.
I'm also really sweaty. Did I say this last time where I'm trying to reset my armpits? Yes. I'm still doing it, guys. It's only a couple days later. It's not, I just feel like I permeate disgustingness. It's worse since having a baby.
You're still making a lot of milk though. It's probably just part of that smell thing.
I don't know. I feel like I'm very potent. You're welcome. You're welcome that this is a podcast, but I don't know. It's just I want to prioritize our friendship because like we've been friends for so long. And if we don't I've just seen these, like, how old is Riker now?
4.
It's been like 4 years since we've like kind of had a solid hangout
without somebody needing milk or somebody texting
or a completed conversation. Like really, we get our complete conversations here and then like the 5 minutes before we start and then the couple minutes after.
Yeah. That's why I've liked this a lot though. Cause it's like, I know we've talked about it before, but it's a forced hangout. That's not like,
you don't feel guilty about not doing anything.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which is also why I've liked, I guess on self-care, we did an Instagram not that long ago about me doing embroidery. And I picked up crocheting again because I realized whatever issues are wrong with me and my lovely brain, I can't sit still. So it's like, oh, have you taken time to rest? Have you rested? You need to rest. I'm literally incapable of sitting still. So I've realized if I'm like, I used to love being a couch potato and just watching 2 seasons of The Office in one sitting. Yeah. But now there's the guilt of like, well, I could be doing the dishes or I could be making a post for work for tomorrow, or I could be doing this or that. But then you get just decision fatigue and then you don't do any of it.
Oh,
I do. I just keep moving. Like I go into like autopilot mode and I'm all like, primarily my autopilot default is cleaning, which should be great, but it's a lot when you've been on your feet all day. Is it rage
cleaning?
No, just like literally can't sit still because the guilt is overwhelming. But if I'm doing something with my hands, there's no guilt because in my brain, I'm like, oh, I'll just make this for so-and-so for Christmas. So if I tell myself it has work, a purpose, I guess, then I can sit and watch a couple hours of TV. Aww. But it's also like super relaxing just to move your hands. But I saw something on, of course, because Instagram listens, saw something on Instagram about like your hands working with your hands like triggers the happy chemical in your brain, or the neurons hit the whatever
We're meant
center.
to do things.
So it's been nice.
That's awesome.
So then the guilt goes away when I just sit.
That's awesome. I don't know what that is. Is that something from our green shoe days where we're like,
I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm a first kid or type A or whatever. I've never been. Never been good at sitting down.
I used to be great at it. I think like I used to be like, guilt-free, be like, oh yeah, like let's watch all of the Lord of the Rings back to back and no problem. But like for some reason there's
play hard.
Do you think it's like our senses are overstimulated all of the time that like our nervous system doesn't know what to do when it's like peaceful?
It's possible.
Yeah. I want to start knitting again. I haven't knitted in a long time.
We should.
But Christmas is coming up, and I don't think I'm going to buy anybody presents this year.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to either knit somebody something or give them some type of tincture I've made.
Yeah.
Or
that'd be
like
great.
Like honey garlic, fermented honey garlic or something I've been making for a long time for like.
You should post a picture of your cabinet.
Oh, you like that?
It looks awesome.
Thanks.
I meant to say something last night, but then the kids ran by and then I forgot.
Thanks.
Looks good.
I'm trying. Well, that's just how I store my food now. So like, it's not really like anything. There's only a couple tinctures I've made myself, and a couple of like fermented garlic is up there, and then honey and onion for like cough syrup.
Yeah,
works like a freaking charm.
Nice,
freaking charm. But
good.
I'll make you a jar if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
But like just do that stuff because like that's how I show. If I like buy something, I don't plan in advance. So it's, anyways, I'm getting rambly. We have to focus.
Yes. But this is when we have our friend conversations. So
we'll just call this random chats with
right.
Ilea and Irene.
Yeah. Or if you want
we should have like an off the clock episode sometimes, or like, you know, like after hours or some type of like different theme. Okay. Or like maybe it's like we start posting. Oh my gosh, I'm just adding more work to my plate. We post like twice a week where like the shorter episode or incredibly long episode is just like us in pajamas,
completely
like we could even just do it with our mics, like maybe while we're knitting and crocheting. How fun would that be?
Let's do it.
Because I think we're finding our women in community, which like they're actually dudes. A dude commented on what did he comment? Somewhere it was like, "Hey, really like the podcast."
I missed that one.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Okay,
that's awesome. Maybe it was a direct message on Instagram, and I was like, "That's great." I was like, usually I think we're mostly women.
Yeah,
but like we're finding people are like, "Oh, like I feel like we'd be friends in real life." Because like, we're literally just blobs, smelly blobs, and like not regular moms. Like we've done incredible things, and we're confident in that. But like, I was listening to a podcast, actually, The Spillover with Alex Clark. I think I sent it to you, one of the ones, and it was something about motherhood. The gal said, and it's the first time I've heard it, and I like actually like made my shoulders relax. It was like, actually, you can't have it all, and I was like, what? Like, what? It's like, you can't. Something always has to give. And I've said that before of like, hey, like if the podcast, if there's a lot of content being posted, just know that like my house is disgusting. Yeah. If there's not a lot of content being posted, like my house is hopefully cleaned, or I'm gardening or doing like some type of home renovation, loving on my kid, you know, trying to be a good wife, or post a personal YouTube channel. But like her saying you can't have it all made me like, I was like, oh, like something always has to give. And whether it's like mentally, physically, time, like whatever it is, you don't have to have it all right now. Like, so as I like feel this pressure to like girl boss and do all these things and like, you know, try to, cause there's like, you know, when you're a stay-at-home mom, now I do photography and videography on the side, but like, I wouldn't say I do that consistently because there's just no time and no babysitters for that. Right. But it kind of like relieves the pressure to like be that source of income additionally, because like you just can't be everything all the time. Yeah. And right now, like it's raising Leo.
And in this season though, usually if we're circling back to friendships, like friendships fall last because your husband needs you. Your
and
kids
shaving
need
your legs.
You need you. Yeah. And it's usually friends and yourself that fall last, which
it's hard.
Is hard to do. But Jacob and I were talking even about our podcast with Deanna, where she was like, well, you know, I didn't take time for myself. She said her kids almost resented her for it. Yeah. So you feel like, well, like for me, I have been running since I don't even know how young I was. But for me to when I stop running, that's when like my emotional state, my mental state, my physical state, everything kind of just downward goes. But there's this part of me that's like, oh, if I'm gone, one extra hour after work, the kids are going to hate me forever. But it's like, no, I think at the end of the day, if when I am with them, which I can tell myself now because I'm not guilting myself on the way home from work, but I think if I'm home and I'm like short-tempered or snippy or grouchy, it doesn't matter if I'm home with them that extra hour because it's not quality time. Where if like I force myself to take that hour, I'm much more pleasant to everybody involved. But it's so hard to put yourself at that forefront.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to cancel friend dates than it is to cancel. I mean, you can't cancel on your kids if you're their primary caregiver, but yeah, it's an interesting phase.
It's an interesting phase. I wish I had the bandwidth to, I do, but just things are so expensive. Like the few friends I have in my life, like I want to start like you and Jake, just like, you're like, hey, we grabbed a coffee for you on the way and just like wanted to drop it off. Like that's really nice.
Yeah. You guys have been renovating an entire house with no air in a heat advisory for 2 months.
It's actually been really cool. Like our
Good.
temperature has reset, our internal clock, like a temperature gauge has
Because
reset.
ours, we keep our house at like 68 all summer long and then 68 all winter long. So then when but we're always melty.
Yeah. We gotten used to it now, but I want to do that for friends more and be like, oh, hey, like I want to just like make an extra casserole and then be like, hey, here's dinner tonight.
That's amazing.
I want to start that. You say that I haven't done it. I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I would think that's a way like we could show up for friends who are also in a similar season.
Yeah.
Make a double batch or do Zoom and hang out. I don't know. We also sometimes FaceTime and like Irene's like driving and I'm like, scrubbing something and it's the angles are just terrible.
The ceiling. It's like half of someone's nose and then half of the ceiling of whatever they're underneath.
Yeah. Or Marco Polo's from the toilet. Like it's just
every time.
We have to just like when you're always going, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Also, I got a chicken got eaten last night. So
by what?
I don't know. There's just like a pile of feathers outside the gate.
Was that the one you couldn't find?
No, it's a different one.
Did it get in the coop?
No. So like we went to put the chickens away last night and there was only 13 instead of 14. And they're just really dumb. They're not very, like sometimes they get turned around in the woods. Like they're not supposed to go out there, but they like fly over the fence to get there. And then they don't have like the smarts to like fly back over. So
It's
like one of them,
they don't have an internal compass. Like,
well, they know where they go, but they don't think to fly back over even though they flew over.
yeah.
I don't. They'll just like run like, oh, there's a gate. Oh my gosh. I'm like, you flew over the gate
Just
last time.
back.
Fly back. So anyway, so I think it was, we're like, well, it's dark. So we just left them out.
Yeah.
And then there was just like a pile of feathers this morning. So,
Well, we learned in homeschool today about raccoons and how they eat. The book didn't say chickens, but I added that in. Like, by the way, raccoons eat chickens. Why? I was like, I don't know. They just do.
because they're yummy. We all eat chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this is a very ADD podcast, but this is where we're at right now. I feel like we're both we can honestly say we're drained a little, and it's got to be.
Yeah. But this has been one of my favorite times because I know even last night at the bonfire, we're like, well, we have one ahead. Maybe we just skip it. And it's like, no, we don't. We try to save the skipping recording for when like someone is sick and we have to.
Yeah.
Last night we were both just like, no, we're just feeling lazy. So we're going to do it. And I always love when we do it.
Yeah.
It's just, if you miss your friends and want to see them, then start a podcast. That might be the only window you have to actually have a full conversation.
Yeah. Because that's something that's, before I had kids, I hated conversating with people who had kids. Not because the conversation wasn't good, but I'm like, there's just interruptions that you can't, and I get it now. I'm like, and I can better follow it because now things are so interrupted because I'm like, but as someone who has like focus issues, I'm like, it's hard to conversate when there's, kids being like, Mom, or I fell. And it's like, oh my goodness.
Another thing I used to love was playing Fortnite, which seems dumb, but I wouldn't play by myself because that's not fun. But it was one time that like my friends that don't live in the state, we could connect and play. And it was usually every Sunday afternoon.
Aww.
That was wonderful until I had 2 kids. And I don't know, because like my one kid would at least have like a 1 to 3 kind of window. So at some point in there I could play.
Like a nap?
And then, nap. And then as soon as there were 2, it was nothing. But that was always one where half of the team would be yelling like, help me, I'm down. Someone's killing, get me, help me. And then it's like, where are you? And it's like, I'm in the kitchen making a sandwich. Just die this round. And it would like, it's just funny because you just like, okay, fine. So then that round you die and you start again. But then this time it's like, my turn. Where are you? It's like, I'm wiping a butt. As you're like, you know, because you walk around the house with the headsets on. Like, just go without me. Don't try to pick me up. So that was always funny to play with kids. But I noticed like sometimes I play with my nephews and they would get so irritated because I would just be gone. It's like, where are you? And I'm like, not there. Sorry. But it is different when you're playing. It's like, all right, we'll go without you. It's just, it is funny when you don't have kids to have kids that you just adapt with the interruptions.
Yeah. That's a good tip of like how to spend time with somebody, but also like kind of feel like you're doing something right for yourself.
Yeah. Keep your old things as much as possible. Like don't ignore your kids for games, but if you get 1 hour to play and you're still socializing, then it's fun.
Yeah. That, and then I'd say Marco Polo is a nice, like, hey, watch this when you can. If you've never used Marco Polo, like you can send basically like which Apple needs to get on this. You need to be able to leave FaceTime messages.
Yes.
But
I don't want it to muddy up my phone.
That's true.
That's another reason, like my siblings and I will use Snapchat, or like some of my friend groups and I will leave Snapchat, which that has its own controversies. We just don't befriend opposite genders on our Snap. Well, Jake doesn't have one anymore, but to be able to just like as you're in the middle of peeing in a break, like send a picture of the ground. That way it's like, okay, not that they need to know you're peeing, but it's like, well, just so you know, this is why I'm not actually calling you. It'll be like a picture of the ground, and then you'll type the text over it. It's like a blurry picture of a child running by, and it's like, so-and-so threw up, like pray for them or whatever, and then you just go on with your day. But it's nice you feel like you're in the room with them. Yeah. But I don't have 10,000 pictures like muddying out my iCloud that need to be deleted because I will never delete them, and they'll sit there. But it's nice to have that, like, here's where I'm at in life, and it's gone. But I don't think Marco Polo takes up a lot of space either. Mm-mm. So it's like, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
That's my only thought with Apple is the day they start doing that. I went once when one of my old phones was full. I had like 7 gigabytes of data in messages. But it's like, I didn't want to just delete the whole conversation because what if it was something important something. So there's probably like 45 gigabytes now in my messages, but I feel like Apple would save it and it would slow down your phone. That was a very long tangent.
I deleted them all. Like I just, except for like the important, like you and I, like the individual, like any group chats. Yeah. I deleted
all of those. Unless, well, some of my family ones I kept because you just never know.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It was taking up space.
This is the most rambly. Sorry if you're here. Also, welcome to our lives.
To me, though, sometimes podcasts, like I just want to feel like someone's in the room. So like when because I don't like we said different seasons, but like I don't leave. I'm happy to not leave the house, but I don't leave the house much. In a way, for the only time I really ever do any type of self-care, which just can be a toxic thing. Some people are like obsessed with self-care, and it's like get over yourself, like humble yourself to like, you know, it depends. Usually people without kids,
right?
But like the way I spend like. Oh my God, words. A way that I can do like self-care is like listen to a podcast while I do the dishes or watch a YouTube video on like how to make something or can or something, learn a skill while I'm doing another thing or while Leo's like independent playing or something. Yeah. But man, my legs need shaved. Like, and I need like, so our friend Taylor had us or is asking us to come over and spend time with her and watch a show that Virgin
Never
River.
Seen it. I have clients telling me to watch it too, but
I would say binge watch it, but like it's kind of soap opera-y. It feels like it's not great acting, but like it's pretty mind-numbing, but yet also you get invested.
If I have to pay attention,
you don't really have to pay attention.
That's why I'm like I'm just stuck with even like podcast-wise. I watch The Office and I listen to Office Ladies because like I've watched The Office enough that when they're talking about an episode, I just know what they're talking about, and there's no like if I get distracted, I don't lose my place.
Yeah.
Because my kid's bedtime is supposed to be 10. Sometimes it's midnight. So by the time they go to bed, it's like, okay, do I want to go to sleep, take a shower, brush my teeth, eat a snack? It's usually, I don't have the commitment to watch. So there's no binging. And then in the morning, one kid wakes up bright and early at 7:30 or 8 every day. We start again. with no naps in between.
What would you do differently friendship wise if you could do it, like if you could start back over?
That's a good question. I think in my case, it would lead back to taking care of myself so that I don't feel as drained.
Yeah.
Because I think like, oh, I should do this for so-and-so, or, oh, I should drop off food for so-and-so. And then I like physically I'm just depleted. So I can't, I mean, you can't pour from an empty cup, but I think that's the one thing I would change is like not letting my cup get so empty that I can't. I mean, that's the point of life, isn't it? To keep your cup full enough that you can spill over onto others, because you can't give to others. You can't help others if your finances are drained, or you can't emotionally give to others if your emotions are drained. So
yeah,
that'd probably be the main one.
Do you think there's any, like, what would you tell a new mom if like, because people say it all the time. It's like, oh, like, don't like, because there's all that stigma of like, oh, you lose yourself in motherhood. And kind of, I guess.
You're just different.
You're different. Like, to me, like, the old me is, like I'm much happier now. I love more. I laugh more, all the things. But, like, there is something that, like, I don't, like, I already didn't shower a lot. I didn't, because, like, I don't produce any grease, which is a problem. Like, I am crusty dusty.
Stimulate
honestly.
your scalp and you would.
I brushed my hair today.
Oh, good.
Thanks. Yesterday too.
Good.
It desperately needs wash. I haven't washed since you washed it last time, but I think we had podcasted that day too.
Yep.
I think it was actually a week ago.
Yep.
No, Thursday. We filmed Thursday, didn't we?
Did we?
Anyways. But like, that's the things I've let go. Like, I never wear makeup anymore. And like, my hair's always in like a bun. Yeah. And my husband doesn't care. I get 100% laid either way. Like, it doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
But like, for
Did you
my
like
sake,
makeup, or was that because pre-me, you didn't love it?
I didn't, but it was kind of like fun.
Yeah.
Like extra. I think I like wanted to like, I don't know. I wanted people to think I was beautiful. I didn't think I was more beautiful with makeup. I just, but like, I find that now that I'm like outside more because of like house stuff, that I just like my skin better without makeup. And I've kind of stopped. Plus, like, you can't really find a good makeup that is not toxic. Yeah. I haven't found one that I like love yet. But like, again, that's extra money to spend for no reason and extra energy and time. And I'm like, if I'm going to spend my time somewhere, it's not going to be doing makeup. Yeah. Maybe doing my hair, but like, I just want to, like, I'm trying to find like the balance of telling Dave, like, hey, I know you, like, work will always have things going on, but like, I need you to like block out like 2 hours because I need a legit shower. Like, like hair wash,
got to
shave my pits, legs, all the other things. Like, you know, like, I need to do like a heavy maintenance day, you know?
Right.
And like, or like sometimes, like, I was up late editing the podcast the other day. I posted about it, and then after that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go take like a bath, like a hot bath and apple cider vinegar and like, you know, little detox, whatever. Literally get like submerged and start to relax. And I hear Leo crying, and then like she's not crying for Dave. She's on Dave. She's going, Mama. Oh, and I'm like, and you know, I happily get out. Yes. I'm like, there is no resolution. I don't know.
No.
We don't know the answer. No. We don't know how to maintain friendships.
But we are here to say you're not alone if you're feeling that, because we never want to come across on the podcast of, look at us, we podcast, we have it all together, own a business. Yeah. I spend a lot of times driving home in tears for my business. So we are people. Yeah. We don't know the answers. Yeah. If you have an answer of how to maintain a friendship, then please comment and tell us, because we don't know.
I think it was last night or 2 nights ago, Dave and I were sitting by the campfire, which has kind of been like a thing, which is nice, but we're missing sleep. But we're like choosing to go sit by the fire and even just sit in silence and spend time together, because that's something that also suffers as your marriage in the first early years of kids.
The amount of times, sorry, you go. I have a rabbit trail. Keep going.
No, it's okay. We were just talking that, like, and he didn't realize this. I was like, the first year of parenthood was probably like the loneliest I've ever been, but like the happiest as well. Yeah.
You can have both things.
You can, you can. And it's weird, but it's like you're like, Dave is graciously like working his tail off to provide for our family. And I can't be mad at that, but also like learning a human, which I'm totally like, I love being her expert. I love nursing her. I love doing all the things, but like, it's like, oh, you kind of realize like when people don't want, like people only really care. It sounds rude, but like you see how people treat you in pregnancy, and like if they actually ask, "How are you doing?" or "How's that baby in there?" How's my so and so in there? And I'm like,
yeah.
And then you have the baby and be like, "I want to see the new baby," and then and then everybody just disappears.
Yeah.
And then you have like your certain people who like, it's okay because they text and check in and they're like, "Oh, how's it going? Sorry, yes, life is crazy," and
yeah.
you give them grace because you're like, "Oh, like I know you're there for me regardless." But like we're all just like,
yeah,
surviving.
Yeah.
But like loving it. How do you like it's hard to explain if you're not a parent, but like you love it, but then also you're like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm like this is full on."
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then again, I'm still trying to get pregnant with number 3rd.
So that's the thing. Are you trying to get pregnant now?
Well, I
literally would have let Dave impregnate me yesterday if if he would have, like, I was
birthday baby.
No. Ew. Gross. I would hold that over that kid every time and be like, "You are conceived on your dad's birthday."
Oh, I'm gonna do that if we have cruise babies.
Oh, gross. Yeah. But like,
I don't know.
But
I am so physical. Like I've messaged my friend multiple times. She just had her 4th, and she messaged me that she puked the other day, and I was like, sorry you puked. Hope it's a baby. Just kidding, because like she would die if she had another baby, but she wouldn't. But then every once in a while, she'll send me a picture of her newer baby, who's 6, almost a year maybe now. And then I'll send back, "I need one." And then she'll say, "Have one." And it's usually the same like circle, just with whoever had a baby the freshest.
Yeah.
And it's like, "Nope, I will die." It's like, "No, you'll be fine. Just go ahead."
You won't die, and you always rise to the occasion. And you're like, and it's really great looking back to be like, "Oh, like that was kind of tough and I did it."
Yeah.
And it's great. But there's like this battle like we're going through in I don't know. It's like, okay, we want 4 kids. But I don't believe in like geriatric patients. I mean, unless we're like really up there. But like, I don't know that I can do it, but like, I don't know that I like want to do it this way.
Well,
than
then
with
you
2
have
kids.
to think about, I guess I'm thinking too about the kid's life. Like realistically, our husbands are both 7 years older.
Yeah.
So at what point, like that child, if we wait another, I mean, I could have a baby when I'm 40. I have no like doubts in my brain that I could. But if I'm at 40, that puts him at 47, which puts that kid at growing up like half of his life without a dad.
Aww,
realistically, if you think about the timelines. So it's like, it's a weird thought to be older and still cranking out kids.
That's the thing though. It's like, okay, we could have a child, but like, I'm like, oh, I want to like fully want it like I wanted Leo.
Yeah.
You know, like every child is loved and wanted, but like our cells have memories.
Yeah.
And I feel like if your kid doesn't feel wanted, like it probably knows, like somehow innately, like,
yeah.
So like, I want to like in my bones be like, oh, ready and excited.
Yeah.
And like right now I'm just like, oh, I'm really tired. And it's just weird.
Yeah.
I'm
really tired too, but I would do it.
Really?
I would do it.
But you gotta get your hormones and stuff fixed beforehand.
Probably.
But like how do you do that?
Yeah.
When
you're too tired to sometimes even brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do friends help each other in the early seasons when you're all like,
when you're both in the early season, then you're both really tired.
is it
Jake
just
wanted to
listening?
go-
Because like my thing is
Maybe.
always like,
Maybe it's just getting it out.
I think I'm like a man in the sense of when someone complains about something or just vents about something, I'm like, all right, here's a solution. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And that's sometimes not probably what they want, but
Yeah.
like you and like one other person.
Well, that's why
But,
it's
like,
good to ask though. Like, okay, do you want, I've heard it worded before.
Do you want
Do
to
you want
vent
advice or do you want comfort?
Yeah.
Then sometimes people just want advice and sometimes they just want comfort.
Yeah. Maybe it's just talking and just be like, yep, in the trenches. How's it going?
Yep.
There's that Instagram reel
That
that's
brotherhood.
like, what?
It's like the brotherhood.
Yeah. It's like,
We're both here.
yeah. So if you're at home and you're also like, this is your time that you're like, you're doing dishes, you're cleaning the floors, you're driving to work or missing your kiddos or whatever. We get it.
Yeah. I will say I have not even listened because you sent me a lot of podcasts and I haven't even listened to, I think, our last 3 podcasts, But I tried this morning while I was doing dishes to listen to the most recent one with Ashley. And every time, Mom, can you turn your phone off? And it's like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, no, I'm on my phone. Yeah. So, or come look at this. So I paused that. I think every podcast I've listened to like the first 5 minutes, and then like I'll come back to it. And then as soon as I close the app, never coming back to it.
Yeah. Maybe I should what I do for Dave is I just screen record a part that I'm like, oh, this is really good. And it
Don't
like
add more work to yourself right now.
I'm just saying screen record and like send you like a shortcut. Yeah. But doesn't matter. That also bogs down our phones. But that's like, I'm getting stuff done if I'm sitting in a podcast. Yeah. Usually like either Leo is having a long nap and I'm like, I'm listening to most podcasts.
And Jake was like, who's calling you? I was like, I don't know.
Oh, me?
It was you.
Well, I texted you first.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. I don't just call you at
midnight. I was like, go. I think, didn't I answer and say, go to bed?
No, you were like, are you okay?
Oh,
I was like, yeah, I'm just editing a podcast, procrastinating.
Yeah.
Not because there's like, oh, like, I never sit on the couch. Like I probably sat on the couch today for the first time since we moved in.
Good for you.
Not to sit, to edit.
No.
I was editing, but I was editing on the couch instead of sitting at a desk. Or the kitchen table. But like, I was like, huh. I have not. Like I don't ever just.
Your TV's not even.
No, we don't have a TV set up at all at our house, which is kind of great because like we've now gotten used to sleeping in silence, and I'm like, oh no, we should just not. But then again, we also used to like that. We used to stay up and like watch like an episode of The Office and then crash.
We've been doing that a lot lately. That is something I'll say. When you're both tired and you're both in the trenches and one is working a lot and one is home with the kids a lot, whichever way that goes, by the time you go to bed, it's like, I'm going to bed, see ya. Or like, oh, I have to wake up so early tomorrow. If I don't go to sleep now, I'm going to be so crabby. But we've been also going out of our way to like rewatch The Office and it's been really fun.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't really talk. We just sit there. I usually have the lights on and I'm embroidering or something. And then we're watching The Office and it's so fun.
I love that.
It's great.
Our thing is like we've been sitting next to the fire, like even if we just start it like a little one, and we just sometimes just sit in silence, and then we talk. Like Dave, we were talking about astronomy, and he was talking about telescopes. He's like, "How much is a telescope?" And so he got on a rampage. He's like, "Did you know this telescope is the most affordable?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like,
"Did you know that I've been trying to buy Jake a telescope for years, and I just gave up because that's like me buying him a camera. Like I'm never gonna buy a telescope that is to like what he wants." For his space viewing, but also he's not going to buy himself that much of a high price of a telescope.
So when he turns 50,
like the bougiest telescope we can
we
afford.
should all like pitch in and get him like a really bougie telescope.
Yes.
Wow. This has been like a really, from telescopes to making babies.
It's been an hour though, so we can still talk.
Really?
So we are so sorry that you're here today.
Oh my
also,
gosh.
Thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
But also, if you feel what we're feeling, then tell us.
Yeah, I think it's okay to admit like, oh man, the love you have for your kids is so good, but also like they can also be little shit sometimes. Like Leo's teething, and I always, there's an account I follow and I cannot think of her name, but she has such like positive mindset shifts on her Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And there was one that like stuck. It's like, oh, Leo isn't giving me a hard time. She's having a hard time. And so like when she's teething and like her hand is like in her mouth and she's struggling, like, and she's crying at me a lot and wants me to like hold her, and I can't really like, but my self-worth is in doing things and it shouldn't be. And I'm trying to like reset that, like live slow-ish.
Yeah.
But like also make money for the family thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
that's something else with a toddler girl. I mean, my son's fairly, I wouldn't say emotional. He's hit his whiny phase of toddlerhood, which is a phase and it'll go away and it's fine. But he was never emotional, where my daughter is like, she just can't take it anymore. So she just cries and cries. I can't even speak. When my tank is empty, I'm like, why are you still crying? And then that's where Jacob's been a lot more patient with her. He's like, one time he looked at me, he's like, hey, she's having the emotions you do, but she doesn't know how to like cover them yet.
Yeah.
For good or for bad, whether you cover it or let it out. But he's like, look at her. And I looked and she's just sobbing, and you can tell it's just she's crying just to be crying. And then, so he went over, and I actually felt so bad, but thankful that he was there to, pick up the slack where I couldn't. And he goes, hey, do you just need to cry? And she just nodded her head yes. And he just held her while she cried. And I'm like, oh, I should have done that. But my tank was empty, but also glad that I know we said it in the marriage podcast, but like, when I'm at 20%, he's at 80 and
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting with girls because I'm like, oh yeah, you do have my emotions.
Yeah.
So
Well, Leo's learned to like, she's kind of taking advantage of the fact that she's like, she's been crying and kind of getting a little bit more of what she wants because like she has been in pain. So like been a little bit more compassionate, but now she's like, oh, if I cry, I know I get hugs from mom.
Oh no.
Which is,
yeah.
Yeah. But if you're in the thick of it, the season won't last forever.
Nope.
And you'll actually probably miss these days someday.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll miss the like disgusting footprints on the ground from like them spilling juice and walking all over.
Yeah.
Like, and
Crumbs.
like real friends
Granola
will
bar crumbs.
Oh, yeah.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah.
24/7.
When your kids are grown and don't really need you anymore, like the friends that are good ones will still be there.
Yeah.
And like, though we probably don't, we talk more now, I feel like, since the podcast,
Yes.
which is a real blessing. But it wasn't because we weren't interested in talking. We were just like,
Yeah.
and you had 2 kiddos and we're really busy. And I couldn't really probably understand, even if you talked, like, I didn't know how to, like, understand how that was difficult. Because, like, you had, Nova was, what, 9 months when Leo was born? No.
What year was she born? 22?
22.
She was a year and a half-ish.
Okay.
A little less than a year and a half. Yeah.
I wish I would have brought you more casseroles.
That's okay. I mean, you had a baby and I still didn't bring you that many casseroles. So
Our friend just had a baby and I haven't brought her casserole
I
yet.
have been trying to send her food and she will not pick.
I
I sent her a full menu and I said, pick one of these things. And then she didn't respond.
So
I'm just going to send one of everything.
you know who you are. You're
Yes.
watching this. We know
Let
you're
us
here.
do nice things for you.
So I had texted her and I said, I'm having Uber Eats delivered tonight.
Yeah.
You have these 3, like, or like pick a restaurant around you that you want. And she said, oh, I'm out right now grabbing something. But I'll text you when I get home. And I'm like, she's not going to text me. So I Venmo'd her right then and now. And like $50. And I was like, go get dinner, like
good.
while you're out. And then she was like, you got me. I was like, yeah, gotcha. But
yeah. Yeah. But it's hard to let people do nice things for you.
it is. What?
That's why we,
But we
Jake
need to
and
get
I
back
know-
to a village. How do we get back to like, okay, like,
Yeah.
like I want to be like where like if you're like Ilea, like code red, can you just like whatever you're making for dinner, can you make double and just drop it off?
Is it a pride thing?
Yeah, because we're not like
Because I know, well, on both ends. I'm not calling you out for a pride thing, but that's why Jake and I just keep showing up at your house with coffee. Because I know if we say, "Can we bring you coffee?"
We
you're
will
either
always
gonna
say no.
or you're gonna Venmo me, and that defeats the purpose of us showing up with random coffee. But then when you text me and you're like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Great, everything's great." So it's probably just a pride thing.
do you think it's
Well, is it pride or sometimes I think I don't want to bother Alea with my work stress drama, so I'll just say I'm good. So it's a little bit of both. Sometimes it's like I don't want to seem like I don't have it together, and sometimes it's I don't want to bog you down.
I think I would rather
you're
know
renovating
you
and
don't
you're
have it
tired.
together. You know?
Yeah,
Because
same. But it's harder when you're the one having to say.
yeah, maybe then it's just like maybe we need to be more honest. Like because my thing is like I don't want to complain because I know like you're working full time and like I know how much that sucked. Like I did that for Leo's. She was so I took a month off of work and then from 1 to 6, right?
Did you work that long?
1 to let's see.
Ooh, I don't know how you made. At least
January,
I love my field. If I hated what I was doing, there's no chance that
Yeah.
I would keep doing it. With when it came to the early years of the kids. So
That
kudos
was
to
like
you for making it that long because I wouldn't have. I would have just.
I think it was just
tapped out.
shy of like just shy of 6 or just shy of 5, something I don't remember. But it's not like I was not okay in those months. But like I could never
Yeah.
like I don't know what it is of
Yeah.
like I don't want people to like know I can't handle stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why. Is it like you perceive it as weakness and then like that's our primal mind being like if they think you're weak they'll kill you. Like
Maybe.
what is that?
Because I would rather suffer than someone think I'm weak. But then I watch
it's never
I watch
weak.
other people that are like, oh, I just can't get out of bed today. And I'm like, why? I don't want to get out of bed. It's like, I don't know.
Well, there's difference. There's a difference. Like being like, oh, I'm like, I can't get out of bed. Like, oh, woe is me. I'm like, there's the side of me that's like, suck it up, buttercup. Like nobody wants to get out of bed. Like,
yeah.
Like, I wrote a song for Brecken. Did you ever hear it?
No.
Do what's right because we're all faking it anyways. Like we're all like, nobody actually has it figured out. Like just do what seems right.
Yeah.
I'll try to be more transparent. But like, I also don't want to put that on you. I'm like, oh, she has like a whole business she's running. And like, I remember how much it sucked. Like I would be at work at a meeting and being like, I'm missing it. And I'm feeling like this visceral, like primal response of like, I should not be here. I can't be here. Like I should not, but that's not probably like you love your field. I didn't love my field at all.
When I'm in the middle of a full highlight.
Sorry if you know me.
I love my kids more than anything. But when I'm in the middle of a full highlight, I'm not thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my craft and my technique. It's when I'm doing all the other stuff that I'm like, I could be home right now. I could be home right now instead of at Costco buying stuff for the salon.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I do a podcast. I do that with editing and podcasts. Like I'm not worried about Leo right now. I'm not like, oh, I'm missing something. It's
like when it's the thing you're supposed to be doing, you don't have the guilt of I should be with my kids.
Yeah. It's like I don't
feel
like
if I'm at the gym, I have that guilt. But that is me.
But that makes you a better mom.
Mother.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to think like, why am I selfishly running when I could be home?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think there's something to what Deanna said in that podcast. If you haven't listened to it, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And actually she posted the one with us in it. So
how did I miss that?
It was like sometime last week. So she posted it, and that's a really good episode too. I feel like of us.
I'm gonna go listen to it again because I forgot everything we said.
But you talked about how like you said you don't balance.
I cry a lot.
Yeah, but that makes me sad.
Person. I mean, I
but that's how you
that's
process,
how I process. I either run or I cry, and because I've learned from someone years ago who was maybe a little too weepy at work. Like I'm not going to weep at work. I will leave and cry in my car. But her thing, when someone's like, yeah, people say I cry too much. She's like, but at least I like go home in a happy mood. So she, she had that release, maybe not at the appropriate time, but I realized I really only get a physical release when I cry or run.
Yeah.
And that's
the extent. I think the problem with this culture right now, it's like, oh, hustle and grind, like just tough it out. Everything's great. And nobody really cries anymore because it shows weakness.
Like I'm still female. I still have a lot of emotions and a lot of hormones. And last week, my period started 4 days earlier than normal. So I cried the whole way home and ate an entire bag of Fire Cheetos. It was a great day.
I love that for you. Is your head hurting? Let's end. I'm sorry.
No, we're good. I'm good.
Welcome to
I'm cranking it out. I'm saying I'm good. No, just hold. It's okay. I've got a water bottle with ice on my neck. Did you notice on my Instagram post that I tagged the ice bucket? Like I found a photo specifically of me in labor with a bucket of ice on the ground.
We had a whole bunch of messages of like, why the ice bucket? Why the ice bucket? They were all in there.
How did I miss all of those messages?
They were in the request and then the hidden request. I don't know why there's like so many layers to get to freaking messages. I
feel like my phone gets blasted all day with people saying negative stuff about that one.
Gosh.
But I never get like any of the other comments or so-and-so. But yes, if you're here from that Instagram post, the ice bucket is because for whatever reason, apparently my body also gets a release when there's ice water on my back when I'm in labor. So the ice bucket was literally poured down my back during. You
know what we should do is we should do a live podcast, whoever's in labor next.
Okay.
Not.
I'll do it.
I would live stream it.
No, I don't know. I would. Jacob is a lot more physically conservative than I am, I would say. Where when I'm in labor, like that was his run request is please just don't be completely naked in front of everyone, which whatever. But he also knew I was filming it and he knew I was going to want that footage forever. And I, to be fair, did not want my embarrassingly large pregnancy nipples out for the world. But I don't know that I could actually.
But they get larger on purpose.
I could actually live birth maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. Because I think in labor I wouldn't care. I'd be like, here's my body, whatever. And I know that.
Yeah, but that's where I would be there and be like, hey, let's put this little bralette on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then are you fine with your head?
Yeah.
Say it honestly.
I mean, it's not to the point to where it's like a full-on migraine yet, but we're getting there. We're creeping up.
All right. So. let's wrap up.
One day we do a migraine podcast.
I feel like
not today.
Maybe we should revisit this topic when we're not so tired.
Yes.
And we actually have a
But
plan.
also, like, someone give us advice. If your kids are older and you either work or stay at home, give us all your thoughts, because we don't know. We are still young moms, and none of our kids have even passed 5 yet. So
yeah, and we want
Tell
three,
us
I want
things.
3 more, but I'm like, I don't like I don't want to be at this level of survival. Like, some days are great. And some days thriving, everything's balanced and great, and then some days it's not.
Yeah.
I'm like, but like, if there's 4 more kids, that's at least like 4 more pregnancies, and then 4 more the first year, because it got
3 for you.
3, yes, 3, but like 3 more years.
Yeah.
Sorry to my future kids who are listening to this, but like, it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I would still do it. Headache, no sleep,
Really?
overstress. I would still get pregnant today if it was up to me only.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I've hit that phase post second. Like, I'm so far away removed from my last labor that, like, what's one more? Welcome to the circus.
Yeah.
And I've left that, like, I'm so exhausted I wouldn't survive. Now it's like, welcome to the party.
We're all tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. The caption for this will be something like,
Good luck listening to the whole thing.
how many rabbit trails can we go on?
Yes. I love it, though, because also I love, like, if I'm watching YouTube and someone's teaching me how to make a gluten-free scone, because that's what we were Googling today for homeschool. Great. And I don't necessarily want someone to ramble about their life every single day, but it's nice. I feel like it's nice, at least, when you get to know someone a little bit more.
Yeah. And I feel like that's when you actually get to know the real person. Because, like, as much as maybe you clicked on this video or this podcast and you're listening and you're like, oh, like, I come for, like, encouragement, because you guys are usually bubbly and super fun. There's lots of laughter.
Yeah.
Just know that, like, everybody has hard days, even if they have microphones in front of them and they seem like, I don't know, they seem like they're doing something big or good or something. Like,
There's someone I follow on Instagram who I've followed for years. Her original handle was Twist Me Pretty, and now she's made a brand for herself. So that's become the brand, and she's posting under herself, which is Abby Hoskins, I think.
okay.
But she, even during the height of the pandemic, she was posting content that was just like pretty hair or curling her girl's hair. She was getting a lot of ridicule for people saying, I can't believe you're not talking about current events. And she basically did an Instagram once that was like, look, people come here for lightheartedness and laughter. She's like, it's not my job to be the
She's not
news
a
of the
reporter.
world. No,
Yeah.
it's my job to bring pretty things and make the world a brighter place.
Yeah.
But she has also gotten flack on the other end because she has gone through a divorce and then remarried and is a blended family. And she's been open on, like, hey, we're in marriage counseling because marriage is hard and parenting is hard with your own kids and someone else's. Like, everything's hard. And she's gotten flack from that. Like, oh, why are you posting things? Like, you just sound like you're whining. So my heart goes out to her because she gets raked over the coals for whatever.
I don't think you
she
cannot
posts.
get raked over the coals, because people are such wimps
Literally
these
everything.
days.
Like, you're too lighthearted or you're too honest.
Can we-
But I love when she's honest because I think together they have like 6 kids.
Wow.
So when her house is loud and hectic, she just talks right through it. And I'm like, yes, good. My kids are not the only kids
Yeah.
running amok in the house. Like, I think it's refreshing. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to hear someone complain every day. Not that we're complaining, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to hear that every day, but it's nice to see
Be
the
like,
realness.
oh, okay. Yeah. Because most of the time Instagram is like someone in like a full linen outfit and their hair is done and their makeup. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't.
Or how do you actually do that every day?
Well, I do want to start. I have started, like, I get dressed every day.
Yeah.
That has helped, like, and I put shoes on, like,
Yeah.
to wear in the house.
That is
helps.
something I need to address myself. These poor people. We are so sorry. Sorry about us. This is just 2 friends
Okay, we
conversating.
gotta go. I want you to not do this anymore. For
That's okay. But I do need to say, I do need someone to force me to buy a new wardrobe because I literally wear the small, like, if I buy my husband a large t-shirt,
Let's see
I
if
buy
there's a
myself
brand.
the small.
Yeah.
I need to stop dressing exactly like him
Okay.
because it's made me, like, when I moved here, I was still in hot, like, a lot of black, but it was like hot pink and black or
Yeah.
some kind of color.
You used it like as an expression.
Yeah. And now I've morphed into, like, I actually don't mind this because I'm going to the gym. So whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
that is something that would make me feel better is if I actually had clothes that made me feel pretty. Because not that I need to, like, I'll dress however I want. That's fine. But every once in a while, I want to feel pretty
Yeah.
with my clothing, I should say.
Yeah.
All right.
What,
Thanks for being
do you
here.
want me to
Sorry
bully
about
you
us.
to do it, or do you want?
I think
to
I
go
just
thrifting?
need someone to go with me.
I'll go
Want
with you.
someone to go with me.
Yeah.
Because then it would feel less selfish. Because I know we would talk about the podcast. It wouldn't be like, look at me going to buy clothes and waste time. It would be like a
Remember when we used to do
purposeful-
that? Remember when we just like go sit at the Starbucks in Target for hours
and
and
get
like
free refills.
what a life.
What a luxury.
But like also that was hard times too.
Yeah.
Like there's
Every season of life is hard. So you get to pick your mood.
you choose your hard
Yes.
and do the best you can with what you got.
Yes.
Even if it's a water bottle on your neck.
Yep.
I'm sorry you have a headache.
That's okay. I'm overheated and dehydrated.
Let's
Probably my fault, but
let's try to I'll try to be, even if it's just digitally, more there for you
yeah.
as well.
You always are when I need you. When I decide to not reach out. When I decide to reach out.
But like, would you say, it's like, I don't reach out when I'm struggling just because like you have like a business and like other, like I can't imagine managing all these employees' emotions. Like, honestly.
I married someone who is very even keeled. Wakes up in a great mood, goes to bed in a great mood. So
Freak.
thankfully I have a barometer to always like
Yeah.
match against.
Yeah. All right.
You guys are the best for
Yeah. Thanks for hanging with us.
Sticking
An
with
hour
us.
and 14 minutes. Are you kidding me?
Whoopsie. Sorry about us.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yes.
If you have podcast recommendations, this was kind of just like a just chit chat with
Yeah.
us. So if you have podcast recommendations,
This is like what we would talk about sitting around a fire.
yeah. We have guests that are coming on. We're going to talk about detox. We're going to talk about parasites. We're going to talk about the medical system. We
Yeah.
have a bunch of things lined up. We have a holistic doctor coming in.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about natural skincare products, natural body products that we personally use and our different scale of
Yeah.
low toxin, like
Yeah.
our different criterias.
Yep.
So appreciate you being here. If you're on YouTube,
Yes.
please. I know it sounds really annoying, but it helps the algorithm of
does.
people find us. And like we would
The
like
thumbs
to
up button. Like subscribing, yes, but the thumbs up button.
Yeah.
At least until the
Thumbs up.
algorithm changes again.
Yeah. That. And then like, if you have the bandwidth to like leave a comment, even if it's just a thumbs up, like it helps us because like we don't get paid from this. Like we
No.
have a couple brands that, are like partners with us that we get a discount code and a little bit of a kickback. But as of right now, like we said, she's a business owner and, our state like violates us in taxes and like
That
so her
is
business.
true.
We want to do this more.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it helps me when people comment and say like, hey, I'm here for this, because sometimes like we can ramble about whatever topic for
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
But we want to know, like, we actually want to bring value to your lives. If you
Yeah,
know, we
for
would
sure.
ramble all day for fun, just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
But if we can actually bring value somehow. So whenever you message us or DM us and
Or say,
just
like,
tell
"We
us
like
like,
that."
we like this episode or we like this topic or give us more about this. Like
Yeah.
that's super helpful to us to kind of know
and it like
where to go.
you know, like when you're, we're still building this thing. Like I know, like we had a couple videos pop off, and now we have like 30,000 followers on
Yeah.
Instagram. But like even just words of encouragement have been really helpful.
Yeah.
Like someone's like, "Oh, like I listen to you guys every morning or every Monday morning," and I'm like, "That's
Thank
really
you.
nice." Like,
Yeah.
thank you. Like I'm grateful,
Me too.
and this is our way to hang out and be friends. And
Sure is.
I love you. I'm grateful for
love
you.
You too.
It's fun because like
Yeah.
we get to talk and just be our goofy selves. And
Yep.
people have said like who know us, they're like that we're the exact same people as we talk now,
Yeah.
as we are like
Yep.
out in public, which is really nice because I try to be as genuine as possible.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I just keep rambling. We
That's
have to
okay,
stop
because
this.
I have one more ramble.
Okay, what you got?
But pivot is oh my gosh. God. It pivots to
falling
that.
off the bandwagon.
I did when I ate a whole bag of fire Cheetos and then pooped red poop. But
You did.
I mean, it's so much red 40, and I was aware as I was eating it, but it took over. Like this period took over my. I even looked at the bag and I'm like, "Don't do it, don't do it." And I was like, "If I don't eat these fire Cheetos, I'm gonna die." So balance, people. But we have a code UTSP10, right, for
Yeah.
BioRay.
Yeah.
Which on that fire Cheeto poop, you're welcome, people. It took 5 days because I would take the drop, like the bowel mover drops, inconsistently.
Okay.
So they have drops that you can do if your bowels aren't functioning fully every day. They have drops for everything. It's super great. I accidentally took too many because they tell you to ease your way in, and I don't do that typically in life as a person. So I just dropped a bunch of things in, got really sick, stopped everything. My own fault. I knew better. And I went back to just the bowel mover and the liver lover. Mm-hmm. And I took those consistently, just the two, nothing else, for 5 days. And it finally took 5 days, but on the 5th day, I actually pooped twice that day.
Whoa! Keep doing it!
That's a miracle for me.
Like,
people, for real. So it hasn't happened again since, but I think that finally was like...
Yeah, that's something though. That's progress.
Something. But code UTSP10.
Yeah.
We'll do a podcast on my bowels one day. I have no shame.
We should, I can see the thumbnail now. It's going to be her bowels. And you're going to be like this, and I'm going to have an arrow pointing to you.
We could call it, would you drive your friend an hour and a half to get her poop drained? Because I did.
Yes.
You did.
Well, that was fun.
So,
we had a good time.
So all that to say, we will link BioRay. They have a whole slew of supplements with a bunch of different things.
I also want to get someone from BioRay on here to talk about it.
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I do too. But good product. Like I feel comfortable giving it to my kid.
Yes, agreed.
And she like, honestly, like I do like waves, like you said, like I don't, you shouldn't be on a supplement for like a long time.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to get like dependent, and like, your body can actually get used to a supplement and then stop working because your body's used to it.
Yeah.
So like I'll do certain stents, but every time I start her on like the organisms mover and then like the probiotics pretty consistent. She I can hear, like, your kids, like they unlock a new level in their brain, and she's like, here's a different word I'm going to learn. Or like, here's like this new type of babbling I'm going to do. And I'm like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. This has been so stupid long. We appreciate you hanging with us, guys. We will be more professional next time.
No promises.
Doubt it. Bye.
Bye.
Holy moly.
Thanks for being with us today. Follow us on Instagram at underthesun_podcast. We'd love to meet you.
Please help us out by subscribing on YouTube and leaving a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time. Please remember this information is made available to you for informational and educational purposes only. It is in no way a substitute for medical advice.